G'day, Bomber fans. Well, it has happened. The record has been not broken. It's been equalled. Essendon have named their 13th debutant for the season, equaling the record set by Fitzroy in 1991 for the most debutants in an AFL year, excluding expansion clubs, because those are teams of players who have never played footy. So yeah, more injuries, some sore players being rested, some old men being rested. We're going to talk about Liam McMahon. But yeah, this injury crisis has, I think, hopefully reached its peak. Touch wood. But we're going to get a few back next weekend. There's a few one-week injuries. But this week, right, against the Giants, tonight, and this is a fun fact, but if the mid-season draft didn't exist, because it only came in about a decade ago, but let's say it didn't exist, if we didn't bring in those 4 players, if that was the case, we would only have enough fit players this weekend to field a team plus emergencies. We wouldn't have anything else to choose from. So thankfully, the mid-season draft does exist. So we had a few more players on the outside, 4. But yeah, for this game, on top of the best 23 that we have on the park, we had 7 extra players to choose from, and 3 of them are just nowhere near ready for AFL footy yet. They're all project players, first-year rookies. So really, 4 players to choose from on top of our team. That is where we are at. So yeah, you can't really complain about the changes we've made this weekend because we really do not have any other options. So let's get into it. Let's talk about this game, which could very well be an ugly one. Okay, team changes. Let's go through the Giants first because there is less to talk about. So they've luckily rested some players for us. Kelly and Hogan have been managed. Harvey Thomas has been omitted. The ins, you've got Cornelio. He returns. That's annoying. They bring in Max Grzeski and Toby McMullen. So they'll be raring to get a good game in. As for the Bombers, more injuries. Nick Martin, I don't even want to talk about that anymore, so we're going to move on. Will Setterfield is out for the year. Ben Hobbs is out for a week. Caddy is out for a week, and Sartis has pulled up sore from the Richmond game. He's done a hamstring. We don't know the severity yet. And Old Gold is getting a rest for the 5-day break because he probably would have broken every bone in his body if he did play tonight. So yeah, lots of force changes. We bring in some experience though. Luckily, because Scott has been pretty brutal in dropping senior players despite the injuries this year, it means that they can come back in now. So Gresham returns, Shield returns, Guelphy returns, Perkins is back too, Big Vigo is back. I know we're excited for the Big Vigo. But yeah, Liam McMahon, that's the big one, and awesome news. It's hard to really be keen for debutants and stuff with, what's going on, but you got to respect McMahon's determination, and it's silly to think he doesn't deserve a chance. He's been the best VFL forward in the last few years, kicking goals for fun. I think it's unfortunate that we've got a key forward like him who's, in an ideal world plays as the third, but now he's probably going to have to be up there with, fellow mid-season draftee Archer May. We've got all 4 of them playing, actually. We've got 4 mid-season draftees who only came to the club a month ago playing in an AFL game together. So yeah, that is, even taking 4 mid-season draftees is odd, but playing them all in the one game is even odder. So yeah, it just gets tougher. Let's have a look at the teams. Here is our team. It is stinky. Looking at the players, I'd say maybe 6 or 7 or 8 are proper ready-made best 23 footballers. The rest are either developing kids or players that, won't be with us maybe even next year. They're stopgaps. The fact this player is, hit the midfield now, it hurts. So every zone is on its last legs. We're scraping the bottom of the barrel. You've got all these kids on screen who just shouldn't be playing footy. I'm not even going to go through the names because it's not fun to talk about. But yeah, I honestly think there would have been games in 2016 where we lined up with a better team with the top, maybe not better team, but I think our 2016 top-up team would give this team a run for its money. So yeah, of the players not playing, let's go through them because, small list. You've got Jai Menzies, Alwyn Davey Jr., Sardell Hawley, Archer Day Wicks, and then players yet to play like Kale Jerian, Reece Unwin, and Jaden Newen. So those are the available players who aren't playing. They will be in the VFL this week. The thing I'm most confused about, I guess, is why Lamar Noel is keeping his spot over Sard El Hawley. But Sard did only just come back from injury, not this week, but maybe last week. So maybe that's the thinking there. Aside from that, none of those guys really could say they're good to come in. Maybe Menzies, I thought he was good in the VFL, but yeah, the 23 we have is pretty much all we can really go out with. If there's another injury on top of this, it won't be good. We really shouldn't be fielding another debutant this season, I think. I love Newen. I see the vision with Jerian and Unwin, but they're not ready yet, those guys. Neither was Lyle, I guess, and he's played every game, and Vigo's back. So yeah, I don't think there's probably, we're going to stick at 13 debutants, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's more injuries the way things are going. Yeah, really average 23. Lots of good young talent for the future that we can at least watch out for, but I think this game could get pretty ugly. What we can look out for this week, I think McMahon is an obvious one. He's a very quiet player, McMahon. He doesn't get much of the footy, but he also bubs up for goals at VFL level. He is so productive with what he gets, so I'm excited to see him. I'm keen to see Vigo, Kako, he's been in good form. I'm keen to see if any of these kids can get us a 5th Rising Star nomination. I believe the record for a non-expansion team is 5, and we're on 4. And that, by the way, that 5 was set by the Baby Bombers in 1993, so we could equal that. We've still got Zach Johnson, Vigo, May, Lawal, Oscar Smart. I wouldn't be surprised if Zachy Johnson gets it, seeing as the ball's going to be in that back half a lot in the coming weeks. But yeah, plenty to be excited about despite the impending loss. GWS, really good side. They've got the luxury of resting some big names, but it is still a really good team. Down back, you've got Iden and Buckley. They're really underrated. They are resting Sam Taylor. He's not coming back this week, but I think, those guys are still awesome. Whitfield and Ash rebounding are going to destroy us. You've got Cornelio back in the guts, Callahan and Green with him. The forward line is strong. Toby Green, Jake Stringer, the package. He is back at Marvel. He's come at a very good time. It's going to be a tough game. I think the Giants are just going to be the better side. The question that, I've only just remembered to ask now that I'm speaking about a different team is, who will the sub be? We'll start with the Giants because we're talking about them. I'm going to guess Toby McMullen. I think that makes sense. That's a stab in the dark. I don't really know. As for us, could be Jade Gresham, could be Archie Perkins. I hope it's not Perkins. I'd rather it be one of the older boys. Shield maybe, or probably not Shield because we need the midfielders. Maybe Gresham, maybe Oscar Smart. It is usually a smaller forward with the Bombers, so I think Gresham and Smart makes sense. I think one of those guys. But yeah, let's look at the players who it's a big game for. So the issue with this part of the video now is it is really hard to be judgmental on players who have to play in this team right now. Like for this game in particular, all the blame is... It is well and truly on the medical department, the fitness and everything at the club. Like you can't be really pointing the finger at senior players right now, I think. You've got, how many did I say we have to choose from? Like 5 or 6 extra on top of our best 23. So when you've got nothing to choose from but players who aren't ready for AFL football, it is really hard for senior players to just be at their best. You really can't be too critical at the boys who are out there fronting up. So this week it's going to be a bit different, and I'm going to talk about who I'm excited to see and why. And let's start with Archie Perkins. He got dropped a week in the VFL, looked really good in the Rezzies. I'm excited to see what he brings to the table now, because we're clearly building this list and moving pieces around. If he wants to stick around with the Bombers, it's now that he has to show it. I know many are lost on Perkins. I'm still in. I've seen him play enough good footy to think he is worth persisting with, but he should start giving us some more hope in these next few games. Second is Big Vigo. I'm just keen to see him go about it. I love watching him play. He was really fun to watch on debut, even if he did get monstered by Jackson. He's got a better matchup in Kieran Briggs, who is a bit of a bully, I guess. But yeah, I really like his energy and what he brings to the club, what he tries to bring to the club. So it'll be good to see him back out there. And number 3 is obviously Liam McMahon. I'm just keen to see this guy finally get a chance. 23 years old, delisted by the Pies, overlooked by Carlton. Now he is here taking his opportunity with the Bombers. I hope he shows us something. He's fighting for a contract as well, and he's got a good opportunity to get a head start. So yeah, those are the 3 players I am most keen to watch on the week, not on the weekend, tonight. But yeah, that is that. Get ready for a fun game of footy. Honestly, I'm weirdly keen about this game still. Like, we're having our future kind of thrust upon us in the prime time, which is, thank you AFL. We're going to get completely monstered in the next few weeks in primetime footy. But yeah, still get out to the game if you can. Support the boys in hard times as you would if they were, up near the top 2. But that is all. Like, subscribe, and go Bombers.